love this guitar. It'll probably inspire me to write a couple more songs and do a little bit more recording.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was able to see some video of you back in the day when you were really giving her as Bill Blayney, the artist, and talk to me a little bit about your original music.
Yeah, I guess it was probably 1989. I wanted to give it a kick at the cat, like not just play the bars. I thought maybe give it a shot, try and see if you can, get to the next level. So I talked to Dave Hamilton, who was in town, went to Sunday Sound Studio, wrote a couple of songs, and recorded them. I sold everything but my golf clubs to get the job done. And the one song did real good, number 33 in Canada. The other song, I didn't like it anyways, the second one.
Was that the title?
No. The second one I didn't like. It just didn't work. But the first one, it did. It was called 50,000 Pounds of Steel.
Okay.
And it got some pretty good play right across the country. A lot of secondary market stuff. But I almost made my money back, but not quite. And that's how it works.
You know what? There's a very select few that, quote unquote, make it, in my estimation, in the music business, and I think it's even harder now. But on the level that Bill and I play at, those sorts of things are wonderful memories and wonderful little notches in our belt that, hey, we wanted to do this, we did it, and we had the success that we did, and that was good enough for us. But you still have your playing, you still have your voice, you still write songs, and you still record music now. Yeah,
I still do in my basement. Not as much as I did a little while ago, only because I've been busy playing for other people.
Yeah.
I've been playing with Robert Goss, playing with Bobby Goss, and play with other people who give me a holler. Randy Shepard, do fill-in gigs. I'm like a freelance guitar guy now.
Yeah.
So, and that keeps you really busy because sometimes you get a list and go, whoops, I don't know that many songs on this list, and then you got to kind of put in some hours, you know what I mean?
You got to dig in.
So,
well, to round this out, Bill, I think what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about now is some of your influences musically on the guitar. You'd mentioned Albert Lee, you'd mentioned Brent Mason, and you'd mentioned Marty Stewart. So talk to me a little bit about who really got you going and wanting to figure things out.
That's a tough one, Ray Flack, back in the days in the 80s with Ricky Skaggs, everybody's listening to Ray Flack, that Englishman.
Yeah.
Played on all those Ricky Skaggs album. He was a fantastic player. That kind of sticks in my mind. The guy from Leonard Skinner there who did that intro lick, he just passed away. Ed King. Like, what a great player Ed King was. Like, he only played with Skinner there for the first album or two, I think it was. Then they got in a big brawl or whatever, so he ended up going to Nashville, and he was a studio guy. So Ed King, and he just passed away recently, but he did all those pull-offs and stuff, all that kind of thing, and he wrote the intro for Sweet Home Alabama and stuff like that.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So he was... what a great player that guy was, and he was basically a country player in a southern rock band, like he had all the neat little country licks and stuff like that. So I enjoy listening to him. Jerry Reed was a great guitar player. I don't play like that, but I love listening to him.
Oh, yeah.
And then... There's some local guys that just knock it out of the park, too.
Oh, isn't that so true? I'm sure even, at home wherever everybody out there is watching, you can think of players that are not known worldwide that are just smoking, and they are everywhere.
Yeah, they are. Well, Rob Jeffries, he moved out to Victoria or something like that. That guy's a killer player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like... I used to hire him, do a couple of gigs now and then, or I'd be on a gig where he was on, and it was always a pleasure listening to him.
So what you're saying, Bill, is you're not shy to steal from anybody,
No.
whether they're on a record
No.
or you're hiring them to do a gig.
Most of the licks I got are stole from somebody else, and a variation kind of made it my own.
Well,
You know
instead
what I
of
mean?
Nashville licks, we're going to call this Nashville thievery.
That's it.
Because that's what it is.
It sure is.
You want to, like, when Bill and I were playing at the beginning here, we're kind of swapping licks, and I was complaining I was cold, didn't have enough time to warm up. But as we were going back and forth, that's where you get inspired off the next person you're playing. Oh, well, I'm going to try something like that. And of course, you don't do it exactly the same. It comes out your own and whatever the case may be.
Well, that's exactly it. You should sound like you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to emulate the person, but you have to find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like certain things I can't do, but certain things I do. People say that sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go with your strengths to a certain extent, and keep on working on all the stuff that ain't.
So, Bill, in closing, where do you go from here?
Oh, well, I do want to record this year. I've been in the basement and playing this every now and then. I got to come up with a few tunes and at least pick one or two, and I like to do some recording before this year is out. I got a friend, Robert Goss, who I played for. I've been on a couple of his recordings playing guitar, and it's been a long time. It's like 89 or whatever it was since I got in the studio with one of my own songs. So, I mean, I wrote a song for my wife, and we did it in the basement, but that was a kind of a budget thing. I'd like to go to the bigger studio and do a little project.
Well, we look forward to hearing that.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm gonna find the time, play for myself, and not everybody else for just a little bit, and we'll get it done.
Excellent. Well, everybody, thank you for watching this interview, which I'm sure I'll put into a series of a few along the way. And big thanks to Bill Blayney for coming. Bill, I really appreciate my inaugural guest
No problem.
at Nashville Licks. So, before we go, you're going to have to show us one lick. Show us something. Oh, try that. Can you show us that one?